don't believe your uncle is able to handle this situation or handle losing. How so?
In my family, at least certainly according to my grandfather, whose opinion was the only one that mattered, the worst thing you could be was a loser. Being a loser made you weak. Being a loser made you unworthy. And as you said earlier, for the first time in his life, Donald is in a situation he cannot get out of. You know, he's never, as far as I'm concerned, he's never won anything legitimately in his life. But being on the winning side of things has always been so important to him that he's willing to lie, cheat, steal, use other people's money, power, and influence to get the win. That can't happen now. So he is in a state of terror. He's in a state of rage, and he's in a state of total helplessness right now.
Does it matter that the kids are reportedly divided, that the sons are on one side, and that Jared Kushner, the son-in-law, and Ivanka are saying, no, this is over, although I hear Kushner is actually not saying it's over. But reporting aside, does that divide matter in the mind of Trump?
No, I don't think it does. I don't think there's anybody who could talk him down, quite honestly, because this has been allowed to go on for way too long. There are two factors that I think are more important. One, the fact that he lost decisively, but the Republican Party, by contrast, did fairly well. They certainly beat expectations in this election. So Donald can't blame anybody but himself for the loss. And the other equally or perhaps more important factor is that, you know, we have Republican leadership. In fact, it seems like almost the entire Republican Party, as you and Congressman Schiff just said, continuing to go along with this charade, which only fuels Donald's need for revenge and his need to play this out as long as possible.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't think they get. I get that they're scared of him. I get that for the special elections in Georgia, they don't want to alienate the base. I get that some of them have this crazed notion that they can be the next Trump. I don't think they get why he has successfully attached himself to the anger and animus of so many people in this country in a way they'll never represent. But I think that they may be underestimating what their license, what they're enabling, may actually allow your uncle to do. What do you think he is capable of that they may not be imagining?
Well, this is the awful part of this. He's capable of anything, right? However, he should have been rendered completely irrelevant by now. Whether he concedes or not, it doesn't matter. It's up to the Republicans to say it's over, we're moving on. As long as they don't do that, they continue to give him power. They continue to give him the ability to rile up his base and other people who voted for him. It's an incredibly dangerous situation. As usual, as you say, they're making an incredible miscalculation here by pretending that they can control this monster that they're unleashing upon us, you know? So it's a really dangerous situation. And I think Mitch McConnell in particular is focused on his short-term needs, which of course is the two special elections for Senate in Georgia. And, you know, if he continues to allow this to go on between now and January 6th, we're going to be in a much more difficult position in a month and a half.
You think your uncle would run again?
Sorry.
You think you don't even want to contemplate
no.
it? Do you think that he would run again? He can.
Yes, he can. Thank you, Grover Cleveland. No, first of all, that would, and I know that he's in a way, he said that he would, which is weird because that's sort of conceding the loss now. But I think that was floated initially as a way to appease him and assuage his ego. But he will never put himself in a position where he can lose like this again. First of all. Secondly, it would mean for 4 years that he is playing essentially a supporting role, which will be very difficult for him to sustain. And, you know, most importantly, in 4 years, he will be the same age Joe Biden is now. However, Donald is a very unhealthy person. He has a terrible diet. He doesn't exercise, and he has, psychological disorders that continue to go untreated. So I don't even imagine that he'll be able to run in 4 years. Plus the fact, of course, he may be looking at serious charges being brought against him.
Do you think he has the ability to, I must say, he may not look that healthy, but he did beat COVID pretty quickly. Do you think he has the ability to tell his supporters, don't just donate to me, fight for me, resist, come out, don't let them do this? Do you think he has that in him? He's never done that before. I guess he hasn't had to, or do you think that's a bridge too far even for him?
First of all, there is no bridge too far. Think about it this way. He said nothing publicly for the last 6 days. 6 service members died in a helicopter crash. He's not addressed that. He was late to a Veterans Day memorial, stayed for 6 minutes, and then made a flashy commercial about it. And COVID-19 is ravaging our country. He's doing absolutely nothing about any of this. Americans are dying every day because of his willful inaction, which needs to be seen in that light. This is willful. He's doing nothing to contain the virus. It's going to get so much worse than it already is. So do we seriously think that he wouldn't, take it a step farther? He does not care about the American people unless they are of service to him. He'll do whatever he feels he needs to do as long as the Republicans continue to allow it.
Nothing your uncle's doing is a surprise, but it sure is surprising that his entire party is following along, and I just hope they understand they're going to own this. That's why I keep telling people to remember them. Your uncle's no surprise. What they're doing is going to stay with them. Mary Trump, thank you for your insight. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's go from the macro to